I just came back from Bangladesh, which had its first free and fair elections in nearly 2 decades, thanks in large part to a student protest movement that kicked off about a year and a half ago. This is Tariq Rahman, who was elected prime minister after those protests forced his longtime predecessor, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, to flee the country. The protests started in opposition to a civil service jobs quota, but they quickly expanded to protest the repressive government of Sheikh Hasina. Now, these protests were led by students, and after they were over, some of those students went on to found a new political party, the National Citizen Party, that was meant to bring the ideals of the revolution into government itself and a political party there. This party that was formed out of the student protest won only 6 seats in the election out of 300 that were contested.
Basically, the people from the towns and urban cities saw us in the streets. But you are not just contesting in the urban areas. You are also contesting in the rural areas too, in the villages too. And that's, I think, huge for us.
Tasneem Jara, this former NCP leader, decided to run as an independent candidate after this coalition was formed. And in the end, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, one of 2 major legacy parties in Bangladesh, ended up winning a 2/3 majority in parliament.
আমার কাছে সেম ফিলিংটাই হতো, মানে একটা নতুন কিছু হতে পারতো, এখন আমার কাছে মনে হচ্ছে সেটা আরো 15 বছর 20 বছর পিছিয়ে গেছে.
The new prime minister is the son of a former prime minister. So while this is a new chapter in Bangladeshi politics, it is also the continuation of a very long political dynasty. But others saw the student protest movement as actually having been a success, right? So they chased Sheikh Hasina out of the country and they forced elections which ended up being free and fair. People I talked to were happy that this was a peaceful election and that opposition parties largely accepted the results. And besides the parliamentary election, there was also a constitutional mandate that was passed, which will pave the way for constitutional reforms, including increased powers for the president, term limits for the prime minister, freedom of religion, and other changes that are meant to enshrine some of the ideals of the July student revolution into the constitution.